I'm Chris, and today we're going to talk about poison ivy. Let's do this real quick. I was out in the yard pulling out some vines, but I forgot that the jewelweed was over by this area, and it was early in the spring, so I wasn't even thinking about poison ivy. There was no leaves or anything on the vine yet, nothing was flowering yet, but as I was pulling them out, and later on that night and then the next morning, I'm like, man, my arms are really itching, and I thought maybe I just got scratched up or something like that from the vines, but then I'm looking more and I'm like, no, I have blisters, I have red rashes everywhere, it has to be poison ivy. And me forgetting that poison ivy, if you cut the vine itself, the sap and stuff that's going to get on your skin is going to irritate it just like anything else, and it's a little bit harder to identify because you're not looking for the leaves at this time of year. So unfortunately I have poison ivy. I have a ton of blisters around my wrists and on my forearms and stuff over here. There's big clumps of blisters, and some of these blisters started to pop. They burn when they do that, but it kind of relieves the itchiness. And I've been trying to put everything on here from, the calamine lotion, the cortisone cream, hydrogen peroxide, rubbing alcohol, all that stuff. I'm going to try some baking soda, apple cider vinegar. People have said you can mix apple cider vinegar with the baking soda and make a paste and put it on there. They also said you could try apple cider vinegar on a brown paper bag and kind of make like a wrap. I'm going to try that. I haven't really found a good hardcore solution yet, other than just keep putting something on there, try not to itch it, try not to scratch it, and hopefully within a couple days to a couple weeks you get rid of it. The best thing you want to do when you think you've come in contact with something like poison ivy is really just wash the infected area. Wash your skin really good. Make sure you scrub under your fingernails and all that stuff, because all the sap and the oils and such are going to get underneath your fingernails, so when you're scratching you're really distributing it everywhere else and you're going to make it worse. You're going to cause it to spread. So make sure you wash the area really good. Take your clothes off, make sure you wash those, keep them away from everything else. Any boots or gloves or tools or anything that you were using at the time you want to wash down just the same, because that sap and stuff is going to stay on those things, and it could stay on there for a couple of years, so you can keep reinfecting the area and later on down the road. So you want to make sure you clean everything out and clean everything up. If you do have blisters and they do pop, you want to make sure you keep them clean. Use hydrogen peroxide and stuff like that. Really keep the area sterile and clean, and to help prevent infection. You don't want to get any type of skin infection like cellulitis, which is really just a bacterial infection of the skin, but the only way to get rid of it is to get an antibiotic from the doctor. So if you think you have something like cellulitis where the skin itself is all going to be big, red, and puffy, and kind of warm to the touch, and if it's spreading, you want to go see a doctor. Even if your poison ivy isn't clearing up after maybe 10 days or so, it's a good idea to go to the doctor. See what they say. It doesn't hurt. You think something silly like poison ivy, but if you're scratching at it and you get stuff under there and you get an infection, now you're leading into other things that you really want to be careful of. So the best way to prevent poison ivy is be mindful of where you are. Think about, hey, it's early in the season, stuff isn't growing yet, there's no leaves of 3 to look out for. It's on a vine, you're in vines, you're clearing vines, whatever. This might be poison ivy. Be aware of your surroundings. And like I said, if you get it, make sure you wash the area off, wash everything that you are wearing and working with, and hopefully you can relieve some of this itchiness and pain and redness and all that. Like I said, I really haven't found anything that's like, oh, I put it on there and it works. About the only thing was maybe an ice pack. And the theory there is it's cooling, it's going to constrict your blood vessels, it's going to stop, pumping all that blistery, gooey stuff to the surface and all that. But I definitely feel for you. So if you have poison ivy and you're looking up this video because of that reason, do your best not to itch. I feel for you, I understand your pain with it, and it's not fun, and I wish you the best. Poison ivy itself is just going to be rashy, most likely in little patches like this, and you're going to see maybe even blisters develop, maybe even really large blisters or clumps of blisters, and these blisters are like hard to the touch. When you rub your fingers over it, it's hard feeling. Wait, before I forget, whatever you do, do not burn poison ivy. I know it sounds kind of silly, but I was clearing out a bunch of vines not knowing that there was poison ivy in there, and I was thinking about how am I going to get rid of this big bunch of vines. Maybe I should burn it. That might be the easiest way to get rid of it. But then I started getting a rash later that night, and I'm thankful that I did not burn that whole pile, because if you burn poison ivy, you're going to breathe all that stuff in. You're going to breathe it into your lungs, and now you're going to have blisters and rashing all inside your lungs. You definitely don't want that. If for some reason you do burn poison ivy on accident, you definitely want to seek medical attention right away. You want to go to the doctor, or even you might want to go to the hospital right away, because you don't want any of this stuff in your lungs, infecting your lungs like that. It is serious. It's been about a week or so since I've had poison ivy. It's getting a little bit better. Let's see the difference in my arms. Yeah, they're still red and everything like that. You know, I still have plenty of blisters and all that, which, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm scratching. It's definitely itchy. I don't recommend this for anybody. I've tried almost every single remedy that you can think of, and they help, but they don't help. They only help for maybe 15 minutes or so, and then you're itching again. About the best thing that's worked for me is Benadryl, and then using like this sample steroid cream I got, or put Neosporin on, wear long sleeves and such like that. Just keeping everything clean, cleaning it out with hydrogen peroxide, make sure everything's clean, especially since I'm scratching at it and stuff like that. It's definitely a nuisance. It's definitely a pain in the butt. And like I said, most of the blisters have gone down a little bit. Stuff is scabbing up and peeling off. Blisters are popping. And like I said, I've been scratching and squeezing at stuff just because it's annoying, and there's really not much else to do but go like this. And so a week later, it's getting better. Getting better. Not quite done yet. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and definitely subscribe if you want to see more videos. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, and definitely check out some of my other videos. I thank you guys so much.